think you are live, dude.
Okay, am I live? Am I here? All right. Am I live? Hodl, hodl, hodl. Save, save, save. Build a, build a, build a. Sound money. All right. I don't know if I'm live or not, but we shall see. But I'm not on, huh?
Yeah.
So now what?
Well, you're on.
So they're seeing me or what's the deal?
She started in 3 minutes. You keep going.
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
I'm not. Okay. Well, some people, so, okay, but it just won't start live streaming for 3 minutes. Is that
Yeah.
right? All right. Well, they say I'm live, so I'll take Eddie's word for it that I am live. And just wanted to welcome, if you've never watched Ugly Old Goat before, this is we use, what I'm doing now is what I usually offer to subscribers, but this is open to the public. And so, okay. Yeah, that's why we need to get this stuff set up before we start. I'm not.
I don't know why I changed to 605.
Can't fix it. It just, yeah, it's not going to start. Am I live? Nobody's responding, so.
No, nobody's responding. We're just sitting here live. That thing has to hit 605 in order for you to start.
All right. I am live though. Is that correct? Do we have any?
Technically, yes.
Well, technically, I don't want to be speaking if nobody's.
We're in another watch.
All right. So what's the deal? You got to send a different one?
I don't think so.
Is the Twitter working? I'm live.
We're live here.
All right. Sorry, guys. We still don't know. Hey, I know how to trade, but all this technical stuff, I don't know. That's why I don't believe in TA, because all this internet stuff just gets a little spooky and hard to manage. Be patient. I will get this organized. We are building slowly, building an organization, but that does take time. So I wanted to invite people that maybe you're visiting for the first time, or you've heard about me, and I'm not a legend, but people think I am. And then things like I did the last 15 days, I kind of get it, basically I started with 0.6 Bitcoin. I mean, I can't believe I did it, but we ran it into, I think it was on April 10th. And we ran that into, I don't know how much we did, at any rate, 11.6 Bitcoin. And that was after we ran previously 0.6 into over 10. And so let me outline that a little bit to you guys. And what I teach is really kind of off the wall and different from what you're going to get anywhere else. I don't know where the market's going. Never have, never do. I believe in equity management first, and I react to the markets. I don't have a buy point. I don't have a sell point. The way I try and teach, hey, you have to read my articles, hopefully change your thinking. Number one is money management. That's the secret to success. And the second secret to success is money management. And that's the third secret to success. Now, most experienced traders think they've got that down pat. And most of them don't, because some of the very biggest traders become very small traders and get completely wiped out. You cannot make a money management mistake. It's the only mistake you can make in trading that's fatal. So it's very important to get that through your head. And then there's another tremendous secret to success, and it's not the charts, it's you. And so you have to, the way I kind of teach is, the markets can never hurt you. You can only hurt yourself by the way you manage your account, particularly nowadays, because we have these sophisticated markets where you can only lose what's on the exchange. You can't lose, everything you own because you got caught in a market you couldn't get out of, and you have a margin call, that you have to meet in 2 or 3 days, and they sell you out. Now you've got to, cover $500,000 in losses or whatever. So that's where I come from. And that's what I teach. I want to outline, if you're considering a lifetime membership, you don't need to have, it's not necessary. I don't even recommend it unless you have a HODL. If you have a HODL and you want to learn how to trade, and I think trading, everybody trades anyway, so you just need to learn how to trade wisely and learn how to do it, in wise ways. So I don't think it's very important to learn that aspect. I know people think that I have magic beans or something like that. I don't know where the market's going. Don't ask me where it's going. I don't know. But what I constantly am asking myself is, what am I going to do if it gets there? And because of that, and it kind of looks spooky because of that, I was everybody witnesses on March 12th, what everybody calls Black Thursday was Green Thursday for us, because we were able to buy June futures at under $3,300, and that of course we had a very good month. And I started with just 0.6 Bitcoin, and I took out 6. I actually picked up another 4 on 2 other exchanges, because I was trying dare bit and buy bit, but I'm not doing that anymore, and I don't put that in my record. It's in our newsletters. So then started again on April 10th and did the same thing, was able to duplicate it. And then yesterday, I said at the very beginning of the day, I said, I don't know where this market is going, but if it takes out last month's highs, I'll be a seller. That's where I was looking to sell, and I did it. So it wasn't that there was not a prediction, guys. I had no idea it was going up there. I just knew that if it went up there, I knew what I was going to do. And so that's the difference. That's the way you have to be thinking. And I teach a lot of different things too. I don't believe in magic points. I don't believe in magic beans. I believe you get out according to your equity, and not a place to, putting stops below lows or something like that is guaranteed to get you stopped out, and then the market will reverse. So you don't want to be, I don't recommend that either. So if you have a HODL, then the newsletter might be for you. And what you get is my entire track record since February 4th, 2019 on a CSV file. So What you're not going to get is me telling you, giving you buy points and sell points and stops and all that, because that's not the way you trade. It just, sorry, it doesn't work that way, or at least that's not the way I trade. I look at the market, and depending, I move according to what it does, not what I want to do. So that's, so that's the key. And what you get with the newsletter is my, I send out regular newsletters, sometimes a couple times a day. Sometimes I don't send out one. I may not send one out for 4 or 5 days, but generally I do send them out on a regular basis. And what we're starting now is we started a Telegram group. I guess Juan's on another call now, so he's not coming, but he'll be here in a bit. You can get in the Telegram. You know anything about the Telegram?
No, not really, not much.
Okay, you need to get a microphone.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't know about the group that much.
but there's a group, and then we're also going to get. Look, guys, I can't answer. I'm sitting here. If I'm trading, I can't have you guys asking me questions. It doesn't work that way. I can't say, well, I'm going to do this and tell you guys and then do it. I have to be focused. I can't be interrupted. And so we are going to try. There's a kind of a shadow bot out there now where you'll be able to follow all my trades as I do them. I don't recommend you do that because, for example, if you followed me today, I didn't do very well at all. If you try and follow me, you inevitably are going to follow me when I'm in a bad streak. And I don't, I don't win all the time. I win consistently year in and year out, but I do have times. I know in 2018, I was trading up a storm for 8 or 9 months, and I just, I broke even. I was worried I wasn't going to make money that year, but then I caught the big move down from 6,500 down to 3,500. And with just 2 Bitcoin, ran it into 22 Bitcoin. And I did that on Medium. It's all there in my Medium articles. You can see them. So then I decided, you know what, I like writing Medium. So I write the Medium articles and said, I'll start a newsletter and then just kind of pass on my trading and make it public. To my knowledge, and I might be wrong, but I'm the only one that's publishing all of his trades. And there might be somebody else there that's out there doing it, but I don't trade big, I trade small. In fact, if you got the newsletter today, it was called Leave Me Not in Temptation. And because I was sitting there and I had too much in that account, you know what? After the success I've had in the last 15 days, it's real easy to get the King Kong complex. It's real easy for me to think I know what I'm doing, and I don't. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. What I do is, I'm looking for opportunities that have a low risk. So what you get with the newsletter, you will get the trading history. You're going to get, we have these Ask Ugly Anything. What we're doing right now is more intimate. You can, when we're on, you can ask me anything about. Yeah, this what I'm doing now is usually just for members.
Yeah,
this is public. This is on Twitter.
Members only.
Yeah, it's usually,
a private session.
Right.
Well, not private, but just members.
Okay. Okay. You're right. And so, I mean, what I'm going to teach is mainly principles. I don't think they're, I think that's the most important thing. I emphasize money management. I emphasize fundamentals. Bitcoin is sound money. And the number one fundamental isn't even so much Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a great innovation that was created at just the right time for a global problem. So that's the fundamental. And then the very last thing I look at is the technical. And I will look at the technicals today, and you'll see how I kind of look at the markets. If you've been following me, you guys know, I got in on the mark on Green Thursday, ran up an account, cut it way back to 0.6 Bitcoin again, did this, was able to duplicate it, and actually got out on the highs yesterday, above last month's highs. I didn't know it was going to go there, guys. I just said, if it goes there, I know what I'm going to do. Okay. And the same thing now. I don't know. People ask me, would you use the TD Tone Days sequential? It actually, he's got an improvement. It was actually Larry Williams that started it. And then so I guess, I don't know this to Mark, but he kind of improved on it. But I don't use it. It's probably the last thing I look at, and it's not a deciding factor at all. It's just one more thing that I might look at. I'm very aware that we are on, I think we're on a daily 9 today, and that we have had a major reversal. I looked at the market topped out right where we topped out. But here's the deal. We also have a green 1 on the monthly. And if we take out the April highs in May, this market's going to look very, very bullish. And there's just time and again where if you trade a 9, it doesn't work. So how do you go about trading this silly market? Well, the way I'm doing it now is the way I measure the trend. It's, if you guys have read my work, I measure with the 2-week high, 2-week highs and lows. So I can only look at it from the long side. But I realize we're in a kind of a danger area. So what I did was cut back on my position substantially. I took money out of the account. I reduced it substantially. We can go look at the BitMEX account. Let's go look at that. I think you hit my picture. Yeah, is it, or is it my picture? Is that it? Right there. All right. So, all right. I need to, where's the mouse? Okay. Yeah, I need to look at it. Give me the mouse so I can look. Now, I know you guys are all looking at charts and things like that, but that's not the most important thing to look at. That's why in the center of my newsletter all the time, see this right here. The only thing you really need to look at is that margin box, okay? Now, I took out 5.6 Bitcoin the other day. So if you add that 5.6 to that margin balance, which is 6.2, would that be about 11.8? I actually am ahead, I think today from yesterday. I did sell the market correctly. I just didn't buy it very right today, but I did suffer through it. I saw my equity drop a whole Bitcoin. I said, you know what? That just woke me up. I didn't panic or anything. I just said, you know what? I have too much on. I'm overextended. I've just hit a really good. I need to cut back. Don't lead me in temptation. When I have a big account like that, I want to trade more. That's just a temptation. And so instead, you know what? You guys are a good check on me because I have to answer to you. And when I screw up, I can screw up very easily on money management. And by taking more funds off now, see that available balance, I'll be taking 3.4 off tonight, at least, and maybe more. But the key to this situation now is not where the market's going. I don't know where it's going, okay? I recognize that we're on a daily 9. Let's go to the trading view chart. We'll go look at this for a minute. Here, give me the mouse. All right, let me do this. Is this it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, everybody's looking at that thing. Okay, now it's something you consider. It's in the back of my mind. So how am I treating it? I just reduced my position because I have no reason to be bearish this market. None, except I knew that I could sell it above when we went. If we go to the monthly chart, here we are. When that green one went above that red two, you see how it just barely went above? I knew you could sell it in there because there'd be a lot of stops up there, really weak buyers up there. Boom. Now we sold that. Now the problem is this thing could be a 9, but it just reverses and takes out that green one. Now you have green 2 over a green 1. What are you going to do now? And you're going to be out of the market if you, and I'm a position trader, so I don't want to be out of the market completely. I want to maintain some kind of a long position because I don't know if this is the big one. In fact, especially now, and I know my good friend Tony, I just was listening to him, and he's looking for a strong dollar, and he doesn't see hyperinflation. Well, you know, that's where Tony and I can disagree. And I understand where he's coming from, but my studies, it scares me to death. Number one, I saw what happened. I didn't until I did the study. The French army, I did a study, and there's it's on one of my mediums. I think it's on the website too, where in 1923, January 1923, France and Belgium invaded Germany. I didn't even know that happened. It was like, yeah, they just invaded Germany because they wanted reparations. And the German Weimar Republic, their response was they didn't have an army. They couldn't defend themselves. So they just told people, you know what? Don't produce. We're going to go on a general strike, but you'll get paid anyway. Now, when that army invaded, there were only 146 people killed by that army. That's kind of like, you know, I'm kind of making a little bit like the coronavirus. I know it's not a perfect analogy, but the biggest loss of life and the biggest catastrophe came the following couple of years when Germany went into this hyperinflation. And I don't know, but we have not lived in, you know, maybe the dollar will be a reserve currency but this is a global thing that's going on now. And they're spooky things because we're in a command economy, and a global command economy now. There's going to be complete chaos and disruptions and malfunctions in the market. One of the best examples is the goat lady. She's making masks, and a week ago, her price for materials to making masks just shot up 12x in a week because of the demand. Now, what's going to happen on some of these other things, you know, that we've shut down and they haven't been produced? It's just going to be a really rocky road ahead, and Bitcoin is going to be get you through it. So what I'm saying is, I don't know what's going to happen. This could be a top. I mean, I hope Tone's right. I hope we stay under 10,000. We have a trading range, you know, till the end of the year. That'd be great. But I also don't want to miss this saying, if this is the move to contract highs, and we march on, you know, to 100,000 like Plan B is written about. I don't know. We could. I haven't ruled out $1,000 Bitcoin, guys. We just saw the price of oil go down to negative. You know, they paid you to take it off their hands. I don't see that in Bitcoin, but because there's, you know, but maybe there will be some Bitcoin that you know, I don't know. So, let's go look. Okay. Let's go. We're going to change the time frame here. Okay, we looked at the daily, and like I said, I'm going to follow. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, okay. There's weekly. The weekly, there's no problem there. If you look at the weekly chart, the way I measure a trend, the trend turned up when we took out this high right here, which was a 2-week high, and then I was looking to be a buyer on this dip. When we went below the previous week's low, I was a big buyer in here.
Toby 0509 for
Pardon?
the update. Thank you.
Okay. And now, you know, we're on our way up. So the trend is up, and I don't want to step out of all my longs and risk not being in there. but I did lighten up on my position because I don't want to lose. You know, if the market goes down, I'm going to be much better off than I was a week ago, and have plenty of room to play with. And so that's how you do it. You kind of control. You want to control your equity. You want to keep as much off the exchange as you possibly can. All right, so I know that's probably not much help, but like I said, if you guys follow me, I mean, you're gonna most likely follow me at the wrong time, because I was very like I had no prediction. I mean, I did not predict that this market was going to go above this high. Just go back to the month. I did not predict that this one was going to go above that too. But I did say, if it did it, I'm going to be a seller. And I did. I dumped all of my Bitcoin there. And I picked up about 500 points, 400 or 500 points, bettered my position. But I said, you know what? I saw I have too much on because I had the position I had on down here. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take half of my position. I don't need that much. And I don't want to risk my equity. You don't want to have these big equity swings. So that's the way I'm playing it. That's how you use money management in conjunction with your trading. All right. Oh, I don't need that. Oh, there's me on Twitter. Oh, wow. That's cool. All right. Well, let me go. Yeah, let's go. All right. All right. Now, I want to go here because this is kind of cool, guys. There's all kinds of different things you can do. And I've taught you guys this. Here's the 30-minute. And here, this is the, if you go here on this tool, is it tools? Or what is it? No, settings. You want to do the setting that SAR, that stop and reverse. If you do a 30-minute stop and reverse, now this works really great. Look at this stop and reverse. You can almost always fade it. 80% of the time you go to the opposite way. If you have a buy signal, you sell it. You get a sell signal, you buy it until you're wrong. Then you get a move like this, where if you sell this one, it went up, $2,000 before you got out. So, but the trend is definitely up. And so today, and another important thing is the end of a trading day. What was really cool today, I said, boy, if I wasn't already fully positioned, had I been more patient today, today at 5 o'clock was when this thing took out that low and gave you a sell signal. That was the time to buy it. And now we're getting ready to go up here and take out the high. I would not sell this one because the prejudice is still up. And we have a lot, that can go on this thing. Yeah. So I might be absolutely wrong. This it could be a major top. We could go sideways now for the next 6 months, which I'm all for it, guys. But I don't want to take, I think it's much riskier not at least maintaining your long than it is trying to trade these swings right now. The trend is definitely up. You have some we had a major correction today, and it's a 9. And so people, if everybody's looking at that daily 9 and they sell it all day today and tomorrow, and it just keeps going up, now what are you going to do? Because you're short and that thing goes up and makes a new high. So guys, there is no, the system is, there is no system. Okay. And you can't, we're going to have this. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we're going to have it. So you'll see what I'm doing live. I can't be interrupted when I'm doing this. I just have to do it, but you guys can see what I'm doing. I don't recommend that you try and follow me. I recommend that you learn to do your own thinking and think for yourself. But mainly the reason I do it is I show you certain techniques, show you that it can be done. But when people still think that I've got some magic beans or something, I don't have any magic beans. I got really lucky on these last 10 days or 15 days. Actually, in the last couple of months, ever since that bottom, I caught that bottom, and I haven't played flawlessly, but about 80% of the time I've been pretty good. I did get wrecked along the way, but twice. but I never got, and that's why I'm reducing the funds in my account, because you can get wrecked. It's okay to get wrecked. You just don't want to get ruined. Okay. And on the collapse that we had to, under $3,300, that ruined some people, and it didn't ruin them. The market didn't ruin them. You ruin yourself because you didn't manage your funds. All right. Yes, there is a link. You'll be getting that link. It's ugly. The link for the lounge is Ugly Old Goat Trading Lounge, and so you can just go in there. And I think Juan will ask to join.
Actually,
How are you doing?
Toby 0509 here.
Okay.
Yeah, Toby 0509 mentioned here. Telegram group is for members only. Go to the settings page on the Ugly Old Goat site and add your Telegram username, and they will add you to the group. Thank
Okay.
you, Toby 0509.
Guys, I am getting organized here. I'm getting help. You can see that I have nothing to do with that. So they just have to kind of, they just have to, what do they call that? Humor an old man here. So that's what they're doing. They have to, and because I get involved in too much stuff and don't know what
Shibley's on.
Huh?
Hey, Shibley.
All right, Shibley. Thank you, Shibley. Shibley is a big help to us. So yeah, and like I say, I haven't answered any of the support. I just don't have time. So if you've emailed us, that's being taken care of today. We went in there and we had like 100 emails. But they're being forwarded to my main email, and it's just kind of a mess. I mean, everybody wants to follow a winner. And so I guess I'm the hot guy on the market right now. So, and I'm not always hot, but it consistently, I've done quite well. And I do make my living trading. I have another business that I started with and got into Bitcoin, and have been a success. In 2017, I was in the top 10 of notation on BitMEX. And then I decided, I started writing articles, and that's how I got my following. And yeah, through Medium. And then other people read my Tone Bays, and a few others read some of my articles and promoted. They thought the content was good, and that's where I'm at now. And then I decided, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I have to lay it all on the line. I have to publish all my trades so people can see this is how it can be done. You can take a small amount of Bitcoin. February 2019, 2 Bitcoin. By the end of the year, I had taken out 32 Bitcoin, starting with 2. So that was a 16x move. And then at the beginning of this year, we started with 0.6, and I took out 6. I actually was on 2 other exchanges and took out 4 more. And then on April 10th, we started again with 0.6 and did it again. So that's what I'm doing now. I don't want to go back to 0.6 because I have too big a position on. I have a nice position on, but I have, we can go look at that. Let's go look at that again. Go to the BitMEX. When this thing was going up, okay. Go to the, go to the, okay. All right. Wrong one. All right. When this thing was going up, guys, now look, the first box you'll look at is that margin thing. The next thing you want to look at is my position. Now, when I was long this thing, I only have 135,000 on there now. And had about 320,000 long at my peak. And I had about 240,000 on this morning. I saw my equity drop. I said, you know what? This thing's going to bounce out. I just have too much on. So I took a good chunk of it out. And because I was over trading, I would have gotten out of this silly thing, but I didn't want to get out of it because this was my hedge in case the market kept going down. I don't mind really being short Ripple that much. So any rate. So that's it. Where the market's going, I don't know. Again, if you want to follow it up with a stop, you can use the 2-day low. The problem is that 2-day low is way down there. So I don't know that I can, let's go to the daily. Yeah, right now, well, 2-day low, it was way down there, the bottom of that 7. I don't like that. So hopefully we don't break today. And if we don't, then you can probably use that low of the 8. But, you know, if you want to lighten up here and just get flat, it's okay to be doing that too. So, all right. So I'm done with that. So let me go into, again, if you don't need my newsletter, if you don't have a hodl, if you have a hodl and you want to learn trading, then you can do that. We also are going to be teaching more of, you know, how to keep your Bitcoin secure, some things I need to do better, and we'll be adding that in the weeks ahead. But the big thing that we're doing now is we're gonna have this Telegram group, and the Telegram group is going to actually have a shadow box on it, so you can see as I'm doing my trades, you can see what I'm doing. So you know, I don't recommend you follow me. I recommend that you learn how to trade on your own. But you know, if you want, you know, I guess if you want to, you can. But what happens is you're not going to know when I'm doing something, because I don't know when I'm going to do anything. You know, every day is different. And, you know, some days I come in and I know pretty well the day that you know, I did not know, I had no forecast that the market was going to break down under 3,300 on Green Thursday. I got wrecked on the way down, but when it did, I knew what to do. It's just like yesterday when we took out that high, I didn't know it was going to go up there, but I knew if it did, I knew what I was going to do. And those are the things that you have to look at. You don't, you know, I know the guys draw these charts and triangles and projections and Fibonacci's, and they use moving averages. You know, I'm not that sophisticated. I'm really not. I look at, you know, the way I figure moving averages, you can just count back 5 days or 3 days or 20 days. And you can see the moving average. And I don't have to have it on a chart. And I don't really like trading moving averages anyway, because moving averages, I'm not a breakout buyer. You'll notice when market breaks out, I'm usually a seller. If it's breaking on the upside, and my buyer if it breaks out on the downside. I want to be in a position before that breakout.
Shibley.
All right, working on the, yeah. I didn't know if he could do that or not, but Shibley is our guy that does the website. We got a lot we can develop. And I mean, I got these hats and stuff, guys, you know, and I got these stabs, and we've got, you know, just a lot of different things.
A lot of swag.
Yeah, we have a lot of swag. If you haven't gotten your swag, will be coming. If you
they're-
don't have an
if they're in
address,
the US,
yeah, go ahead.
If they're in the US, then they're good. But if they're like Canada or somewhere else, because of
Europe
this
or
COVID,
China.
yeah, right, because of this COVID thing, then you're not gonna get it. But if you're in the
Right now.
US, yeah, right now. But if you're in the USA, I don't know.
And you have to
wherever
put
you
your
are.
address. I mean, if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want your
if you want your
privacy, that's
swag,
fine. You don't have
hat,
to give us your address,
shirt.
but there's no way we can send you swag if you don't have the address,
Right.
you know, on your information. So that is the bottom line. I just want to share a little bit of what's going on too. I didn't know. I thought that they were doing this Telegram, and I said, I don't know if I'm comfortable with it. So they just invited a few people on it. And then I started to get it. I knew some of the guys on it. I was comfortable with it. So I started sending my position over more regularly. And, you know, and it's guys that I know that I met at Unconfiscatable. And, you know, I was really blessed, because I said, you know, for the first time, I think it was Stephanie, for the first time, I was able to sit through a position and hold on for all it was worth. And that's hard. It's really hard to stay with a winner, and you have to learn to do that. And yet you have to also learn that in these choppy markets, you have to be nimble enough to, if you can break even trading for a year, you're on your way, because all you got to do is if you learn how to, catch one good lick and let it ride for all it's worth. That's what we've done here. There's no indication that this thing is over with. That's why I don't want to get out completely. I will risk it, take some of the profits that I have and risk it and stay long, because we have a 9. I understand the risk, but there's just too much going on here and I have no reason to be, bearish at this point. The market might prove me absolutely wrong, and I will give up some equity. And so that's the problem. If you try and follow me, you're probably going to pick the wrong time to follow me, not the right time to follow me. All right. Supported ugly old goat. And again, we got 100 emails to deal with, but we had them forwarded. It's a mess. It's going to get straightened up. Okay. So what do we got? Go through them all. Let's see what questions we can do. Oh, could you put in some sort of segments we could study? Yeah, they are. There actually are in segments on Medium, but you kind of have to sort them out. They also are published. Some of them are published on the website, not all of them. I am going to try and do a book called ET, or Equity Trading, and kind of put together everything that I teach and go from there. And so that would be, that's where I'm going. It's going to take some time for me to do that. And I got to get some of this other clutter out of the way. If I'm going to, that's going to have to kind of go into hiding it and just work on a book, because they're not easy to do. I mean, the stuff is written, it's already down in different articles. It's just not indexed in any way. Okay, don't trade, but HODL have been lifetime members observing Ugly's technique, have used it to time entry points. Great. You guys, you don't have to trade on margin. When I first started trading Bitcoin, I did not trade on margin at all. I just bought and sold Bitcoin. For example, if you bought Bitcoin there at 3,500 and you made 3x on your funds, you could have turned, 1 Bitcoin into 3 Bitcoin quite easily. And you weren't leveraged at all. Okay.
No, these are just comments.
Okay. Work on the site. Okay. I don't know that that's the secret sauce. Is some people think that they want to see that. I mean, most of my orders don't get filled if I have resting orders. I don't have any secret sauce or magic points. I do like to scale in. I do have an article on Medium, and I think on the website, called Goat Stops. And basically, if you have a problem trading where you take a position and then you get stopped out, and then the market reverses and goes your way, and you just got the way you work around that is what I call goat stops, and it's by managing your funds. Only put half on what you'd normally do, figure out your stop, and then where that stop is, double down. So now and now put your stop in. And that's just one good way I've found to get around it. By the same token, I do the same thing. I when the market's going my way, I trim. I take a profit, because if it goes against me, now I'm protected. That's just what I'm doing now. I'm not going to trade. I'm not going to trade with that 11 Bitcoin in the thing. I've got it down to 6, and I want to get it down to 3. 3 is plenty. I can start with 3 and hopefully take it to 30, and then take it back down to maybe 5 or 10. I mean, my dream is, I'd love to show you guys how you can take nothing, a very small amount of Bitcoin, and run it into several hundred Bitcoin, because you can do it. I mean, it can be done. It takes, you can't make an equity mistake. You can make all kinds of trading mistakes, but you can't make that money management mistake, because that will come back to bite you. That's why I don't believe, that's why I do not emphasize TA. I just don't, because it's not, that's not the key to success. Okay. Okay. Anything else? A little closer to the mic. Okay, Stephen, thank you. Yeah. So that's it.
That's it.
I don't-
He's on again.
Huh?
We gotta change our hour because the phone is on. Look.
Okay, well, that's fine. I don't have to change. We're doing this more and more just because this is the last day. Tomorrow we will not have the lifetime membership anymore. So here's the deal. If you get the lifetime membership, it's for my life, not yours. I'm 70 years old. Hopefully I got another 5 or 10 years left. If that's the case, you're going to get a bargain. If I drop dead tomorrow, well, my wife, you're taking care of my wife, but you know, what can I say? I'm not here anymore. So, but I have a lot to live for, and not planning on leaving, but that's really not my doing or my say. So, that's what that's the thing. You get all of my trading history. Now, one thing you can do with it, because of the trading history and because of this whole idea of trading your equity, I have a longtime follower and subscriber by the name of Victor Villacana, and he's actually built a TD sequential system where you can plug your equity on BitMEX and see how your equity is doing based on a TD indicator. So you can kind of see when your equity is hitting a 9, you might want to reduce your position, you know, or even reverse your position. So it's just a way to monitor yourself a little bit closer. And we're going to be focusing more and more on that. There's still bugs that we're working on that. But if you trade on BitMEX, you can take my CSV file and load it on the equity app and see everything, you know, that I'm doing and how my equity is ebbed and flowed. And you can see, you know, how big my downturns were and all that. So that's what we do there.
For the Telegram group, you have to be a member, right?
Yeah, you can't be I mean, what we might let people, and that's the whole thing. When we get to subscribe, you guys, whatever we offer on the lifetime, you get it. Okay. Now, once we do the lifetime, it's going to be the same price. You're going to get all the features. It's just the difference is hopefully we build value and you'll have to renew every year. Now, the renewal is not going to be what our initial cost is. It'll be substantially less, but we need to have a renewal, and we need to have that because we want to have better content. We want to earn and say, wow, yeah, if this bot works and you can actually shadow me and see what I'm doing, then, and you won't want to lose that, because if you don't re-up the following year. But you guys don't have to worry about that, because you're going to get it, you know, as long as we keep doing it, it's included. You're not going to have to, you know, you're not going to lose that. All right. Yeah. I need to get in shape. Can't stay in shape if I'm not in shape. So there you go. That is a problem, guys. I need to get, my daughter has a trainer now. I think I'm going to go in the afternoon and work with them. We got our trainer. I got a little 8-year-old girl, and she's got so much energy. And so, you know, we used to keep her busy, but we can't go anywhere and everybody's stuck in the house. And so we got a trainer that comes in. Yeah. So she's getting her exercise, and she, yeah, and getting schooled a little bit, because I don't have, guys, I'm not a teacher. Okay. I can trade this crap, and, you know, I'm not like Tone Veda is a great teacher. He loves teaching. I like writing those Medium articles, and I enjoy trading, but I'm not going to tell you that I can teach anything. I mean, how can I teach you anything if I don't know much? And that's really kind of what it boils down to. But I do know, you know, I'll be glad to share with you, and I do know how to trade. All right. Yeah, I can't run, I'm afraid. I'm getting too old for that, but swimming would be a good idea. That would be good. I don't have a swimming pool, but I got one of those treadmills. I need to get on that, I guess. Yeah, it's all dusty. No, it's actually in the living room, but I still don't use it. So it's just, I was in great shape when I was locked up for 11 years, man. I was buff, I was tough, and when I got out, I was 52 years old and I was a specimen, but no longer. Uh, wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, Stephen is the guy Stephen, can you share a little bit? What happened to you? You said for the first time you were able to ride with a position. You said before you were always getting stopped out. So what did I say that you finally felt like you got a winner? Because you're the one I was thinking about. You're the one that told me that. That was that's you guys, it really encourages me when I hear your success. And I know that and many of you uh, I know I've turned a lot of your trading around. What makes me sad is every couple of weeks I'll hear from somebody that just lost everything, and now they want to know how they can instantly get it back, and of course you can't, and you had to just change your whole view because you were definitely doing something wrong. Okay. Yeah, what do you mean when you trade my equity? When we trade the equity is kind of what I was showing you on the margin box. In other words, the important thing is not when you guys are charting, you're charting uh, what's going on in the outside world. You're charting Bitcoin or stock, whatever it is. Say, okay, here's a day, here's the high, here's the low, here's the close. Maybe you put the opening in there too. Opening, high, low, close. Okay. But that can go on all day long. It has no effect on you. So why is it important? Plus, it doesn't forecast a damn thing. All it's doing is telling you where the market's been. It didn't tell you where it's going. So that's really not that important. I don't dismiss it entirely, but the most important thing is your equity because that's the only thing that affects you personally. That's it. So you want to watch that very closely. I do recommend that you read a book. It's on the credits down here. It's called The Art of Execution. And it's just it's a short read. You can get it on Kindle for $10, or you can buy the hardback or the paperback, whatever it is. But it's a great book, and it's written. The guy that wrote it is a manager of funds, billions of dollars. There it is, Art of Execution. Yeah. You want to share that? And there's a link. Just bring it over. Oh, I don't know. Are we sharing it? I think we're sharing. What are we sharing, guys? You just hit my Amazon link and it'll pop up, but I don't know how to do that. There it is. You got it there on this screen, but I don't know if people will see it. Okay. Oh, okay. There it is, guys. And I never can remember this guy's name because he got two first names, Lee Freeman or something like that. But at any rate, what he does, he manages funds. He billions of dollars. And so he would go around and, all these people say, oh, I'm a great trader, hire me. And he would go around and hire them. But then he found out, you know what? A lot of these guys are just full of crap. Some of them are. Some of them really know what they're doing. And so he did a study. What makes the difference? And he learned that the successful trader, he called the 95% rabbits. And of course, they tend to trade a lot, and and they're never wrong. Okay. Whereas the guys that really matter, he calls them assassins, and I think assassin and the other one's a hunter or something like that. And he just outlined that these guys, in fact, some of them may only trade once or twice a year because they find like, for example, what kind of a money manager do you have to be if you bought Google in 2002? and just held it. And but that doesn't mean they just always hold it. They do other things like trim, but basically he found that the successful traders really watch their equity. And this is exactly what he says, how the world's best investors get it wrong and still make millions. Guys, I get it wrong all the time. All the time I get it wrong. But I don't get it fatally wrong. Okay. And sometimes I've come close. So you can't, when you do that, hopefully it scares the bejesus out of you and say, wow, I don't want to do that again. So keep this book right close to you all the time, because it's basically, when I read this book, it said, wow, that's what I do. I didn't know there was a book about this. I didn't know that there was a term for trimming. I just always did it. When I get a profit, I take some and take it out. So I didn't know there was a term for that, guys. I just learned that that's what you do. I didn't know that the market was going to take out the March highs in April, but I knew if it did, I was going to be a seller. Okay. Now, and totally because of the way the market was. Now in April 1st of last year, 2019, that was a different situation. That was a situation. I did sell a little bit, but I had a major long position. And on April 1st last year, it was end of the month, March 31st, end of the month, end of the week, end of a day, end of a quarter, and we broke out. That's a legitimate breakout. And of course, we broke out and we went basically straight up for 3 months. We didn't run into any problems until we went into contango in June. And I wrote about that. I said, hey, we're in contango now, which is a blessing for the miners and a curse for the speculators, because people still were real bullish on Bitcoin, but to buy futures, they were paying, $500, $600, $700 over spot. Well, why would anybody want that? You're just getting penalized coming out of the chute. You want to buy the real thing. You don't want to be buying the futures. You want to be selling the futures. So, that's where, that's where we are now. I mean, this market now could just be at the top of a trading range, and we could go sideways or go down, and just, but it kind of has to prove to me that it's going to do that before it does it. So, okay, quick question. If you trim, okay. Okay. Gave you confidence. I needed not to put in my usual stops, which led me to ride up another wave. I just needed someone to lean on. Okay, well, that's what it is. I do give it a lot of encouragement. So it was just the fact that your track record allowed me to trust you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to mislead you. So, okay. Okay, guys. I made the next level today, becoming an even smaller trader again voluntarily. Yeah, that's hard to do, Mr. Milk. Yeah, that's hard to do. I took out some sats from one account, was able to leave in twice as much as I usually have. Yes, excellent. So I got to, can you handle things for a minute? I'm old. I have to go pee sometimes. I'll be right back.
Give him a minute. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Yeah, so I guess Shibley posted something, It says you can contact us, uglyogoat.com/contact, or email support@uglyogoat.com. Send us your username, and Juan or I will add you guys to the Telegram group. So yeah.
All right, well, that didn't take long. Yeah. I'm drinking water here today, guys. I like bubbly water, so I drink the sparkling water. 'Cause that's,
Okay, so here's the question.
quick question. If you trim as it goes up, but then BC turns and takes your stop lower, what is the reverse back into the long techniques? Well, until the trend changes, and I'm not going to be buying this market anymore. I'm fully long. I'll be looking more to get out because I don't want to give up much equity if the thing doesn't continue up. But what you do on trimming is you just sell on the way up. And if later on, forget about it. Later on, if you get the sell off, you can buy it back and improve your position. Great. That's what I did. Basically, I sold the high. I got out of everything. I was short the perp and long the futures. And I came in this morning and I was just flat. And I should have just stayed flat. I don't know why I decided to go in there, and I bought it way too early and suffered through adversity. And then I realized, you know what? I have too much on. And that's so there was an example, but it was really not a very good one because I improved my position 400 or 500 basis points. But you know, if you're wrong, that's not going to help you. Wish you didn't have it. You got to always remember, guys, when you're right, you never have enough. And when you're wrong, you have too much. It's that simple. Okay. There you go. I did exactly this on a trade. Took out 3x to what I put into the account for the trade, and then left double the original position on the exchange. That's exactly how you do it. That's what I teach. Here's the deal, guys. A lot of large traders become small traders. Most small traders stay small traders, but there are a few small traders. And I will teach you that you can do this. A small trader can become a large trader. And the wise large trader chooses to become small again. And I realized that I didn't follow that. In fact, I probably should have sold out more and just brought myself down to smaller. It's really hard once you're trading a large amount to cut back and trade a little amount because it's just against your nature. Time intervals, I look at daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, 30-minute and 1 minute. And the only way I look at the 1 minute is on the BitMEX accounts. I don't look them on. They're useless as far as you use Bitcoin Wisdom or TradingView or something like that. But that's what I do. Yeah, it is hard to fight greed. It really is. It's we tend, it's just a nature, you know, fear and greed is a natural emotion. And temptation is real. And so that's why the last newsletter I just sent before we did this show is, you know, lead me not in temptation. And, you know, I say the Lord's Prayer with my daughter every night. And we say that a lot of times we just say it routinely without any meditation, but it is a good habit. And it just came to me to lead me not in. I got this too much Bitcoin on my BitMEX account, so I'm tempted to, instead of cut back, to trade more. I mean, I can get the King Kong complex. The King Kong complex is you know, I know what I'm doing. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. And you got to stay humble, man. And you stay humble. You know, I don't know where the market is going. Okay. And so I don't project it. All I do is, you know, if it gets there, I'm looking where it's going to go. What will I do if it gets there? That's the question, the most important question. You can always ask me if I'm long or short, and I'll tell you. But don't ask me where the market's going, because I don't. And neither do you, and neither does anybody else. So, okay. Oh, if we do the yearly, it will be the price isn't going to change. But instead of getting a lifetime subscription, you're going to have to renew every year. Now, it won't be for 0.1 Bitcoin, but it will be probably, uh, it'll probably be $100 or $200, something in that range. We'll have to vary it because we don't want to charge until we, it's not going to be, because when you first subscribe, the first thing that you're getting is my track record. And that's worth something. I mean, nobody else is sending you all their trades. This is my trades. Here's what I'm doing. Here's the result. And so you can actually see, what's going on. Okay. Mark Williams wrote the book on this for me. His strategy is putting positions divisible by 3, set sell points for 2, and let the last ride until it stops. There you go. And that's what I'm doing. I cut back on my position. I had too much on. And so I want to get more off the exchange, because I don't want to get wrecked with 6 Bitcoin on that exchange. I'll get wrecked with 2 or 3 on there if I'm going to get wrecked. And you can't lose any more than you have on the exchange. So I want to take some off tonight, and the only way I could do it, guys, because I've had those futures on for so long and so low, and the way BitMEX works, they mark you to the market. I mean, you can't use the equity gain on another trade, so you have to liquidate that position to free up those funds and have them sent back to you. So I had to sell the June. And so as soon as I saw that, I saw, well, I really bought it badly. I was able to get my money back, and I sold out half of it, and I just did it. And I don't regret it at all, because I know I recognized immediately the mistake I had made. And that's the other thing too. You're going to make mistakes, and you just want to wake up to them as fast as you can. And the best, how it woke me up is that, wow, how did we had a dip, and I lost a Bitcoin just like that. And I said, wow, what happened? Yeah. And so I go, I don't want to lose Bitcoin, so I said, well, let's see what happens. It rallied back up to right. And I was able to lighten up. And now I'm much more comfortable. Trading in the Zone, first book I ever read on trading. And that's what taught me to trade like ugly. Before I even knew it, he just made me better. Okay. Trading in the Zone. That's good. So, yeah, I mean, if you're asking me, I mean, I just know where people are in their trading almost immediately through conversation or by the questions that they ask. And when you start asking me the right questions, then I know that you get it, and you're making progress as a trader, and you're going to do very well. Okay. I don't know as far as other exchanges. I only trade on BitMEX. I used to trade, I can't recommend any exchanges, because I traded on, I did last month, because people were asking me to do it. I traded on Bybit and Deribit, and I actually have accounts there now, so I might do a referral code. And I reviewed them in the newsletter, and I was very disappointed by Bybit. I just don't think it's much of an exchange. Deribit was much better. The thing is, the big boys are all on BitMEX, and that's where you're going to trade, and you have to figure out a way to trade on it, or they're going to kick. Like I say, I'm a U.S. citizen. I can't trade on it. The goat lady can trade on it. She's Mexican, so everything she does, it's her trading. I mean, I give her a little. I do kind of push the buttons for her, I guess. But I'm not involved in her trading. But if we're like when we went to unconfiscatable in 2019, you know,
logged in there.
I logged in. Well, they just kicked me out. And then I did the same thing. We went across the border. I logged in once. I said, hey, you know, we went back. I said, hey, we're Mexican and we have none, but if you just even if you log in from the United States, they're gonna kick you out. So,
Well, you went to Vegas and it happened again.
yeah, it's happened once this year,
times.
2 or 3 times, and that's why when we send you the track record, it's on different accounts because, you know, hopefully I've got that nailed down now where it doesn't happen. So, I think I've been on the same account all of this year. So, no, yeah, they call it. Actually, it's exclusive derivatives. I wouldn't call it exclusive futures, although they call it a perpetual market, which is they figure out a way where it's almost like a cash market, but it is a derivative. You can't buy Bitcoin on BitMEX. You can only send them the Bitcoin that you have and use that as collateral to trade derivatives. Oh no, it's okay. If you signed up, you should be okay. And you know, so you know, you should be okay on that. I know we got a lot of new subscribers today. I mean, so I said we got to make some major changes if we do this again, which is great, guys, because you know, I don't need the money. Everything that you guys send us, we're going to be doing to develop more service for you. What I do want to do is develop it to the point. I want the renewal because the lifetime membership, we don't have an incentive to have you renew. And so, and then, you know, we can sit back on our laurels and say, well, you know, they got up for life and Ugly, it's not feeling well today. So we just want, no, I want to get more professional in what we're doing. We want to offer more and more services. I want to start doing more and more things. We want to start, you know, helping you with your wallets and privacy, and maybe
Security.
even security and things like there's a lot of different things we're working on, and a lot of fun things we're working on too that I can't even tell you about because Juan's working on. He's doing some stuff now that, you know, I'm not the tech guy. I'm just an ugly old goat.
He's the content guy.
Yeah. I can write Medium articles and I can trade. Okay. I don't know. So you might ask somebody else because I really don't. I trade on BitMEX. I'm comfortable with it. It took me, I had to work through all kinds of, you know, what's going on here when I went into the other exchanges. And it's just, you know, I'm familiar with BitMEX. It's easy. That's where the volume is. You know, anybody who's a trader, a hedger, that's where we're going to go because, you know, that's the only thing that can handle the volume. Where is your dollars is safest? I think BitMEX is very safe compared to the other exchanges. And because they are Bitcoin only, Arthur Hayes has been very innovative in the industry. He's brought in lots of new things. They only, you can't get your funds out instantly. They only do it once a day, which I think is a very good security feature. So you have to put in a request and then every 24 hours they send it. So it's not like, you know, they're going to get, you can't back in their system and, you know, get a hold of a hot wallet. So, all right.
That's for Canadians. LJ.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. You have to talk with other people that are doing that. I can tell you on BitMEX because that's where I do it. I mean, I used to trade on Kraken and I was not a pleasant experience. Bitfinex, I took a 30% haircut. You know, I used to do a lot of arbitrage, but you know, that I stopped doing it just because it was so much hassle. I had like 5 bank accounts shut down in the US and 1 here in Mexico. And not, you know, it's not illegal. It's just the banks don't want it because it you know, I KYC'd and everything, but they generates what's called a SARS, a suspicious activity report. And the first time I mean, I had a long time bank. In fact, it was U.S. Bank, and I love that bank. They were a great bank, best one I'd ever. But I'd have no U.S. Bank. Much better than Chase or Bank of America or Wells Fargo. But I was a long 10-year customer, and they said, you know what? Yeah, they said we got to close. And so I did ask. I called one of the officers, and they said, well, Mr. Bryan, we know you're a good customer. We know you're not doing anything illegal, but we just don't want your business because you're generating what we're doing is depositing cash and wiring funds to the exchanges. And that would generate the suspicious activity report. Now, there are banks now that kind of specialize on that. I think Capital One I think they don't mind at all. So there are banks that are realizing there's a market out there. So, but a lot of your Bank of America shut me down. Chase shut me down. So what was that? Okay. All right. So, what else we got? Bybit and BitMEX has few differences, and there are futures. Differences, they only have perpetuals, not 100% Bitcoin settle, i.e. you trade, if you trade ETH, you deposit ETH. Yeah, that's okay. Can you explain perp versus futures on so far as fees associated? I see. I don't, I like the futures, and the reason you'll see me with a larger futures trade is I usually get in there when it's in backwardization, because you got to build in when that thing ends. You're going to pick up that. We went from at one time we had $1,500 backwardization when the market was at 3,200, but we're now it's at a premium, not a big premium, but it goes to a premium. So you'll see me have those futures on, and so I just, but I don't, and I'll hold that for a position. And we can go and I'll show you guys, let me show you open interest. Go to I've explained this in other videos, but if you guys are new, I'll explain it again. Yeah, go to the share screen and we'll go through open interest so you guys can see it. Okay. All right. So guys, if you look here at, okay, let's look at the Bitcoin. You got, here's the perp at 87.04. This is $40 over. And September, I would favor September over June now because it's trading at a discount to the September. We have a little contango. It's not anything, to this disconcerting or anything, but we, it's normal. The funding is almost zero now, just not zero, but it's not, you're not having to pay a lot now here's the difference. All your volume is in this. Look at this. You see how you've got almost 1 million contracts here, 700,000, 600,000. That's in the perpetual. You go to the June, boom, there's hardly any volume there. It's a fraction of what you see in the perpetual. In September, same thing. Okay. So it's much harder to get, it's much less liquid. Now, the way you can look at this, let's go look at the open interest. So you would go here. If you want, I'm usually, a lot of times I'll be on all three because the best liquidity is in that nearby perp. So let's go look at the liquidity here. Open interest is the number of positions that are open. In other words, if you're a buyer, there's somebody else that has your position, he's an open short, you're an open long. That's open interest. So the open interest is 424 million. Okay. But look at the 24-hour volume, 5 billion. The volume is 10 times the open interest. So there's a lot of trading going on in this thing. And look at how big the volume is compared to the open interest. Now it's just the opposite in the futures. We'll go look at the June, and the open interest is 6,000, and the turnover is only twice as much, 6 million, and the turnover is only 13 million. You go to September, it's probably even less. So if you want to, for a position trader, particularly if I can get it at a discount, I don't mind buying, the futures if I can get it in backwardization. Here's the same thing. Open interest, 73 million, volume, 93 million. So you're trading, volume is about almost 1-to-1, so you just don't have the volume there. These are guys that either they're hedging and they're short wanting to hold their short, and you're long wanting to hold your longs. It's not, it's just, and that's why, it's no advantage right now because we are a slight contango in the market. We don't, everybody's in the same quandary. Everybody sees the 9. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows we took out last month's highs. Are we going to resume the trend? I don't know. Or are we going to break down? I don't know. So you kind of have to play. I mean, I think that the 9's not good, but that's just, I have no reason, just a pure hunch. And I think that this 9 is just going to be brushed off almost like it's not there. We'll see. But by the same token, if that's true, the market should have very little adversity from here. Very, very little. I wouldn't be surprised if we may have even made the low. Listen, we can go here and look at this. I am kind of curious about this. Okay. All right. So we got the short, we haven't got the buy. Now it's going to go up here. We go up here and do this. See that SAR? We go up there and take that out. Now you're going to have people bullish again. I'm not a breakout buyer, but I wouldn't want to sell this one. This one I was tempted on buying because when it happened at the same time at the end of the day. Now, if you go here and look at the daily, here it is. We could have an inside day. You see how we had this? They call this, what do they call it? Shooting star, kind of, you have a big spike up here and we close lower. Now, most of your TAs, this is why I'm not a big TA fan. They say, well, this is bearish. Well, it is if it keeps going down, but it's not if it goes right back up. So how often does it go down after? Well, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So, and the trend is definitely, this is a pretty major breakout here, guys. It just is. And and yeah,
It's an
evening star, whatever it is. I don't know what they have different names for this thing, but a shooting star, I think they call it, or evening star, or whatever. But and then the other one they call a hammer or something like that. So, I mean, these are chart patterns, but all it is the high, open high. It doesn't tell you anything about the future. There's certain things I do like, for example, in fact, I look at charts different than most people. An outside day, I consider you always fade the outside day. And most technicians say, oh no, if it's an outside day closing higher, it's bullish outside closing lower. And I've gone back and looked at them, and most of the time, when if it's legitimate, it keeps going. But if it's not, most of the time they reverse. And so, that's just the way. I'm not. You need to just figure out your own indicators and you got to have a reference point for the way you're looking at the market. That's what you have to have. Let's go look at maybe it comes out clear in TradingView. Okay. Look, if this thing's any good, we should not have, this is the beginning of the month. And if we go this way, if we keep, this thing could just, okay, we closed the month at 86.27. Okay. If we go here, we have a low of 86.16. So we went about 10 below this. I would say you can almost put your stop at that 86.15, because if this thing's good, it kind of should just scoot on up there. Okay. Kind of like this See what happened here when this 3 continued up, or here's a 1. See how this thing went up? This thing, if it's any good, should just kind of move on up. Okay. And so, you know, you need to, that's what I want. You know, I want to pay to see the cards. I'm not going to sweat the 9. The way I'm going to play the 9 is I reduce my position. I sold the monthly high, and now the market's going to have to prove itself. So, and I've got, you know, and not get greedy. So there's all kinds of ways to look at the market. So you don't want to follow me. You want to follow your own inklings. You just want to, you know, manage your funds. That's the most important thing. The most important thing is not what this is doing. The most important thing is what your equity is doing. I do have the equity app here. So let me close that out and open up the equity app. So it's an old version, but you'll see how it works. Just stop the screen share and you can load up the equity. Stop share, and then I can go here, go to equity app, just start it up. I can do it. And then we'll come back and put it on there. But this is kind of new ground, and that's what I, that, okay. All right. I think this is it. All right, so let me start this up.
Did it work?
What?
Did it?
Yeah, the equity app should work on this machine. Sorry, on this computer, it's not loaded up. Okay, can't show you guys. I did tweet some out on Twitter. We can probably find it on the Twitter account. Let me see if I can do.
Right, and open up the other one.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
yeah,
Twitter, and then we can, because I did tweet it out. You can see it. All right.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
There it is. Okay.
Okay, so go like here.
Now we can share. Okay. Now we can do screen share.
Okay. So make that bigger on the green arrow.
All right.
There you go. And then go to the green button.
All right.
And then choose.
That's one.
No, it's underneath you. There you go. And then share.
All right. So here's the equity app.
There you go.
I think it was from another computer. This is the 1 day. And this isn't current. This is when I took the shot. This is a screenshot, but you can see how it works. This is not the market. This is my equity. So when I'm starting to get a 9 on my equity, it might be time to lighten up or even consider reversing. This is the September June futures I had on. That's the 1 day. We can look at different time frames. Here is the 4 hour. Okay. And so you can see how that works. And this is the 1 hour. Right. So here we are. You know, when you're getting up here, like you might want to cut back. Good time to be trimming up in here. And that's how, you know, we want to be applying that. And this is not the market. This is my equity. This is the only thing that counts. It doesn't matter what the market is doing. I want this thing to be going up. I want to see this. What this here? That's what I want to see. It doesn't happen all the time. In fact, I guarantee you, if you can do this and just not have fluctuate very much, you'll catch one. And then you have to learn to ride it. And that's why I say, if you can trade for a sustained period of time and break even, you are on the verge of becoming a successful trader, because you now have the discipline, you know, to not lose. And now all you need is a discipline to stay with that winner. And that's what that book, The Art of Execution, it shows how these guys, they may lose 70% of the time, but when they get a winner, they know how to stay with that winner and ride it for all it's worth. And that's what happened with Stefan. He said, wow, I was following you. You gave me the confidence. I didn't stop myself out. And I rode it all the way up to those monthly highs. Oh, that's great, man. That's what I want to hear. That's what I can teach you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I share everything that I'm doing, guys, and you get what I'm doing. It's just you're not going to get it. I can't. I mean, you need to understand this. If I'm trading, I can't say, "Well, let me tell all these guys what I'm going to do before I'm doing it." There, you know,
Doesn't work that way, right?
it was over. The market was over the previous month's high for all of maybe an hour. It went up there 2 or 3 times. You could have sold it a few times, but then it failed. And went that bottom at under 3,300, that was there for 30 minutes. If you didn't get in that 30-minute window, you didn't get it. It's that simple. And that's the way markets work. So you have to be there. In order to get lucky, you have to play the game. So what I teach is it's okay to get wrecked, just don't get ruined. Always have some ammunition in your account so you can take advantage of these anomalies that will pop up occasionally. So that's what you do. All right. Yeah. And so it's not even that you're not going to see me. I mean, I don't think they're going to have a camera on me. Maybe they will. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think what's going to happen.
I think the camera's going to be either behind you or to the side, and then just focusing on you. I don't know really what the deal is going to be. Juan hasn't been. I haven't asked him.
We'll have to see it, but it may not work. But that wasn't explained to me that way. It's just that you'll actually see what I'm doing. When I'm doing it, you'll see it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's what I think is, you're not going to be seeing me, but you'll see what I'm doing. But you're not going to have any warning. I mean, I'm not going to say, "Oh, I'm doing something now," because I can't do that, guys.
Okay.
You got to do that. You're the one that has to, "Oh, I'm doing it. It's your equity. You trade your equity. I'll trade my equity." Okay.
Screen share and talk it out.
Okay. Screen share and talk it out. What does that mean?
I guess when you do your show.
Oh, okay.
When you do the Telegram show, to share and then just talk it out. But I don't think you can talk and trade.
Yeah, I'm not going to be talking it out if I'm sitting here trying to get orders in and stuff.
Right.
Because sometimes, I've been invited probably a dozen, and I'm on them. I get, "Oh, Ugly, will you be on our tele?" And I'm great. I accept. "Oh, we got Ugly on," but then I get on there. Guys, if you trade with a group, you're going to have a group result. You gotta do this on your own. You really have to become independent. And comfort is not with the crowd. I mean, you might feel comfortable, but comfort is all by yourself trading and doing your own thing. If it makes you feel better to have a dozen other people in your trade, you're probably not going to do very well, because I mean, I do some crazy things in trading. So, I mean, that are unique to me. You're going to learn some things that are unique to you. Everybody has a different way. There are people that are successful that wait for exactly the right breakout and learn how to buy the correct breakout. That's really, you have to be really patient to do that. And like I say, one of those that was clear as day was April 1st in 2019. But, and you can do that. You don't have to be continually trading. You can take positions. And basically that's where I'm at now. I mean, I don't want to give up this long position that I've had from 3,300. I'm just knocking it down. I don't want to have as much on. So if you go to there is an email that in replies. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, guys, the newsletter is proprietary. Once you subscribe, we kind of have a thing in there. You agree not to share it with anybody upon penalty that you're going to lose your membership and I can sue you and all that. But, I would just drop you if you do. But that said, I do start out a newsletter, say, "You know what, we're making an exception to this rule. And go ahead and share this one because people want to know exactly what I'm doing. Well, what do we get? And, you know, I try and make it clear because some people get it. Well, I thought you were going to, you know, hold my hand and give me signals and do that.
Walk with me.
Yeah. Hey guys, I adopt children. Okay. I've got 4 adopted children. I don't adopt adults.
Grown-ups.
Oh, well, I take that back. I guess I've adopted you, haven't I, Eddie? Huh? Are you?
Well, not really. Don't have the last name yet.
You don't have a Bitcoin either, right? Okay. So yeah, I mean, that's, you know, you don't look like I don't look like your daddy, and you don't look like my stepchild.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think so.
so
It might
that's
be
it.
the skin color that gives it away.
No, I think it's the hair. Sir, I still have.
It's the hair. No,
I
it
have.
doesn't look the same, does it?
I don't know. Maybe I'll learn on something for us. Somebody lots of laughing so we can get it. Well, you know, I was just really lucky because when we were pounding away, I was hitting that key. How come it's not going through? And apparently it did go through. I just didn't see it go through. So, and there is luck involved. That was lucky. But the second, when I bought the September of 44, that wasn't. I was waiting for that dip. And when I got it, I bought it. I did a terrible trading today. I really did. I was not patient at all, and did not, because I wanted to, I had places where I wanted to buy it. I was flat. And you know what? The perfect trade today was I came in flat. I should have just stayed flat. And it gave me a chance to buy back that short ripple that I had, get rid of that loser and get take a profit on it. Sit back. The time to buy Bitcoin today was at 5 o'clock and right there when we took out that SAR low, that should be it. I might be wrong, but that's the kind of a trade that you want to be looking for. But I was not, you see, because of money management, I wasn't in that position because I already had a position on. And so I wasn't patient enough to wait for it. I came into the morning and I saw, oh yeah, I'm flat. The market's down 400 or 500. I'll just trim. And I was thinking, oh, I want out of my position. I want more Bitcoin. And it, you know, that was not the smart thing to do. It just wasn't. And the hardest thing to do a lot of times is just to sit on your hands and do nothing. It's really hard to just do nothing because, you know, we want to get in there and do something. And sometimes that just is the worst thing that you can do. We did do nothing all the way up here, and then we did something when we took out that monthly high. But, you know, and so I'm pleased with what's going on. I have no reason to think this market is over with. I can make a bearish case. This thing could be over with. You know, Tone does not believe that we're going to go into hyperinflation, and I respect him, and I respect his view of the marketplace and economics. He says, and he laughs at the hyperinflationists. Hey, I've never been a hyperinflationist. Well, I'll take that back. I was back in the 70s and 80s because we had 20% interest rates and all. It looked like hyperinflation with all the rising prices. But I have not been a hyperinflationist at all, you know, since 2013 until now. And this thing is just different. And again, the COVID virus does not scare me at all, if you want to know the truth. I mean, it's legitimate. I'm not going to say that you shouldn't take precautions because I think we as individuals can do it better than from a central command. But the policies are what that have been set into motion is what scares me, and it's not just the United States. This is being done on a global basis through a concerted effort of all the nations. And so in that sense, okay, maybe the dollar won't be as bad as the rest of them. I don't know, but I do um, there's going to be tremendous misallocation of resources. That's going to be the problem because we're doing down here in Mexico. They can just, well, you can't produce anymore. We had that problem, but we need material to make mass.
Right.
But they've shut down all of the.
You said the
Back-
prices went up, right?
Yeah, so they've shut down all of what is it? I forgot the people that make the materials. So prices shot up 12x. Mass, what we're doing is to justify the prices. We're making them prettier and more bells and whistles, designer mass. But we were selling these things for 17 cents each, and we can't do that anymore. We're gonna have to raise our prices accordingly, and we'll have a design on them, so we call them designer mass. But the problem is, it's crazy because Mexico says no, you can't make the material anymore. So they're buying mass from China and from, kind of gray area factories like ours.
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. These mass are coming from China now and from, gray area factories like we're at. We were just lucky because we tried to get registered completely legal with Mexico, but it's such a hassle. So we're just kind of quasi. So they don't really know we exist.
And
They haven't told us to
They
shut
always say
down.
mañana. It's always mañana.
So, I mean, they haven't ordered us to shut down, so we're not shutting down.
Right.
And, in the meantime, we've got 20 people working for us. We only had a few working for us
Before it was 4.
Yeah,
I remember
before,
that,
and now
only
we
4.
got 20 people, and they're dependent on us every day because we pay them at the end of the day. And, things are
Getting tough.
yeah, we have some friends that live in Tijuana, and they both, aren't working now. They spent the last of their cash on food. What are we going to do? So we'll come on down here and help us out. We've dug in, and this is, we're building our own little Bitcoin world down here. Like I say, the Bitcoin standard is building your own little economic world around Bitcoin. So these people that are working for us, they don't know they're even on the Bitcoin
Right.
standard, but they are because they're getting paid. I mean, we were only able to do this because of my successful Bitcoin trading. I mean, I had another business, but then we were able to my story was I built a business. Took me 10 years after getting out of prison to build that business. And in 2016, we finally had a banner year. I paid off all my debt, all my credit cards, and then the balance we put into Bitcoin. And of course, the rest is kind of history.
History, yeah.
And but that's how you do it. And now we have other assets, and I'm much more diversified. I don't have just Bitcoin. And so it just depends upon where you are. People ask, well, how much Bitcoin do you need? What percentage of, and it just depends upon who you are. If you're young, you can all be in Bitcoin. I'll give you all my Bitcoin if you can make me 40 years younger. So, but you need to write that program. All right. The halving, you know what? My opinion on halving, it's overhyped and not that, okay. I think there's a terrible, what do they call it? Way of talking about Bitcoin. And they call it the Bitcoin inflation rate. And I've written an article on it. There is no inflation rate on Bitcoin. Okay. We know it's a fixed amount of Bitcoin. So you're not inflating it. It's just a delayed release. Inflation, the classical meaning of inflation is you're creating new money without an additional wealth. Well, Bitcoin has wealth all around it. And like I said, that's why I think Bitcoin banking has to emerge, where we do actually create credits that's backed by Bitcoin and the new goods coming in production. But we're not going to touch on that today. but I just don't think that the Bitcoin halving, it's not it's not an, all it is you're not going to have as many coming into the market that are delayed to come on the market anyway. It's not going to change the total outcome. It doesn't change how many Bitcoin are lost. And it's a psychological thing. Will it have, drive all kinds of emotion in the market? Yes, yes. The markets with this rally, I noticed one thing that's going, the market is very thin now compared to what it was at the lower levels. The buyers are really, they're kind of reluctant to be buying in here. And I understand that. I also think that the governments will probably try and attack Bitcoin, but they can't. So, but they might try, an indirect attack will be on the altcoins, and they could just put a kibosh on them, and maybe that would have a temporary sell-off in Bitcoin. I don't rule out, that we can go back down under 6,000. I don't know. Tone, who I have a high opinion of, he doesn't think we're going to, go over 10,000, or at least not much this year. Very, very possible, and we went over 9. We got close to 10. That was it. This could, we could have made the top yesterday. Okay. That's why you cut back. You got a 9 on the daily. If you don't want to play the short side, if you don't want to get out completely, at least cut back on the position that you had, because I don't want to go back down to 8,000 and have what I had on earlier this morning. So I said, you know what, that was a big mistake. Let me lighten up. And that's money management. Okay. Lead me not into temptation. I wanted to, I felt like King Kong. I just, I didn't know when I started on April, I put in the newsletter, well, will Ugly do it again? Well, I did it again, but the encouragement is you can see me do it, and you can do it too. You can do it too, and start with a little bit. Okay, start with a little bit and make it a lot. And then as you make it, take that away and start with a little bit again. You don't have to be the richest guy in the cemetery. If you like throwing your weight around in the market, it's going to come back and bite you. You want to be in a position where I was there when I was a fairly large trader. It's kind of a power trip, but it's also almost fatal. So I would say much better to follow the principles that I'm teaching. And, one of the very simple principles I teach, if you get wrecked and you don't have a smile on your face, you are over trading. So you want to make sure that, your company, and, since I started publishing my trades, I don't trade that much anymore, but I sweat these trades just like it was a big position, because I know I'm sharing it with you guys, and I don't want to really mislead you. So that's, I feel very responsible for that. So in that sense, you guys, because I'm accountable to you, you're making me much more accountable to myself. That's why I had the revelation today. I said, you know what? I need to take more off this exchange. I don't need to be trading with 6 Bitcoin. I can do quite well with 2 or 3. Thank you. And so I need to get it off there, because this market drops. I don't want to, I need to get it off. All right. Anything else, or are we done? Yeah, guys. And so sign up if you want this thing. There's no money back guarantee or anything like that. So once if you sign up through a member, you get a 15% discount. We have a referral program. So they are, if they sign you up, we give them a 10% bonus on their account. And there's people that have brought us a lot of business that way. There's some people that, hey, they just think what I'm doing. I'm one guy who was going back and it's a scam. Well, it's not a scam. We're telling you what you get. I know that, show me somebody that publishes their track record and does anywhere close consistently from what I'm showing you. And I hope it's going to come from one of you guys. You're going to become better than the ugly old goat. And because I'm teaching you how to do it, not be afraid. So that's it.
Definitely not a scam like Castus is. Definitely not.
Yeah, I apologize for that. Guys, and that's my problem. I talk to guys that I think are knowledgeable, and I just assume, and I will never make that mistake again. I assume that they know money management. Okay. And they don't. And that was the problem, with this hedge fund that just got blown out. I assumed I kind of pulled them aside. Say, hey, here's where I've had problems in the past. Oh no, we're not worried about that. And they did. They blew out, and it was because the only way you can blow out in today's markets is because you didn't manage your funds properly.
Right.
That's it. That's it. No other way you can blow out, because you can't lose more than you put on the exchange. Set an order for 1,000 contracts at $1,000 and sure like maybe or never. So anyway, okay. All right. Right. Actually, I turned 0.6 into 11.6. So I didn't start with 2. I started with 0.6, but I to be honest with you, I built a position up, and I did have to put in 2 to back up because I knew where I was going to get out, and I had to have it because I would have gotten wrecked. It went down and tested the previous week's low again. So yeah, sometimes I'll add to an account and then regret it because I wind up getting wrecked anyway. But this time I didn't regret it because it did keep me into the market, and it paid off, and so it turned out very well. All right. Yeah. Read the Medium articles.
Did you lose money with excuses?
No, I just assumed when he wanted to do this, he wanted to do a teaching class with a money back guarantee. And I said, I wouldn't do that, because it's going to probably get you in trouble. And then I assumed he knew what he was doing trading. And apparently when he started out, he did very well, because he told me I was traveling up in Canada, traveling the nation with my family. And he turned, I don't know, 1 or 2 Bitcoin into 10 Bitcoin. So, but he didn't know how to handle it after that. That's the problem. Is you make that easy money and you think, wow, this is easy. I mean, I did the same thing when I was a 23-year-old kid. I walked into a commodity house. I was a broker. I ran $5,000 into $350,000 in 6 weeks. I thought, oh man, I'll be a millionaire by the fall, and by Christmas, I'm out of here. I'm done for the rest of my life. Well, that obviously didn't happen. And by the fall, I'd lost everything. By Christmas, I'd lost. I was negative. So that's the whole thing. I mean, now, just those are beginner mistakes. So, all right.
0.6, my bad. That's even more scammy.
Yeah, there you go. That's really scammy. That's the thing. I mean, I'm amazed that I did it, guys. I'm just surprised you are. I can't help but brag a little bit. Come on, guys. I got to say, look, but it gives you encouragement, because I've done it before. I did it from January to February. I took out 10 Bitcoin, and I did it. I've done it twice now this year, and I probably need to cut back even more. The hardest thing to do is when you're successful is to cut back. So here's Juan. Tell them what you're doing here, because they're all asking about the the trading group, and I explained it the way it was explained to me. So I'm not going to be. I'm not going to, you guys are going to just see what I'm doing. I'm not really going to, in other words, I'm not going to be there to answer your questions. It's just as I do things, you can see them. Is that right?
Well, so, I mean, it's an experiment. That's the first thing. And everybody in crypto loves Telegram groups. So I thought, you know what? It'd be a good place to like share experiences and get more feedback. Another way for for people to communicate with you or tell us their experiences, to share sort of success stories and failure stories. It's not going to be a place where you can get where you're going to get like technical analysis tips. You're not going to be getting buy calls and sell calls, because that's not what Ugly does. Ugly doesn't tell you when you should buy or when you should sell. That's not what we do at all. It's going to be about learning from each other's experiences. That would probably be the best thing we can get out of the group. Basically, yeah, just meeting people that are thinking about the same things you're thinking about.
Yeah, but okay. My question is this: if I'm sitting there trading, are those trades going to be reflected? Are they going to be looking at my BitMEX account? Just what's going on? I really don't.
Right. So that's a separate thing that we're talking about building with this bot that we were talking to Joe about. And there's
Okay.
different bots.
Okay, so there's going to be a
right?
Telegram group where I can kind of do more screenshots quick, because there is
Yeah,
really
it's
the screen.
quick.
It's
Yeah.
quick. Don't have to
Yeah.
email. Our email is
Yeah.
slow. It
Yeah.
takes me 10 minutes sometimes, and
Yeah.
it takes twice. And it just,
Yeah, I mean, I think you should keep doing the newsletters
Yeah.
as you do them, but you can share that screenshot in the moment in the group.
right. It's just faster way.
It's a faster way to
It's
communicate.
kind of like, it's like a Twitter.
Yeah,
yeah.
it is. Yeah. So it's a Twitter, but only for your community, for subscribers.
And then the
Just
next thing that we're going to do is that the bot.
Well,
thing
we're
that
looking
comes-
at options for the bot, because we would like to be able to share maybe your trades with the group in a way that is non-intrusive to Ugly, so that he is not distracted. My job is to take as much of the administrative and minutia load off you, so that you can do what you're great at.
Right. I
And
need to
so-
focus.
and so it needs
So
to be
for me to
easy
do
for
it
you.
right, I
Yeah.
really do have to be
Yeah.
focused. I mean,
But then the other thing is that we don't want people to be copy trading. We don't know if it's a good thing that people will be copy.
I'm
trading
really
your
not
trades.
too worried about that, because you'll copy. People will. You're never. The chances of you following me when I'm right is pretty remote. You'll always
Right.
follow me when I'm wrong.
Yeah, that could totally
That-
happen.
That's why don't follow me. You need to learn to make your own decisions. You need to
Yeah.
have confidence in yourself. If you try and shadow trade me, you're going to come in at the wrong time. I
Yeah.
can almost guarantee it.
It's very likely, and if they're taking more risk than you are, there's
Yeah,
risk you
and
can
say, oh,
absorb
I'm
that they
following
can't.
Ugly. I'm going to do this, and then I got a big old
Yeah.
loser. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and that's what I found. That's why I don't want to trade for other people, because
Yeah.
I've seen that so often. I hear the comments, and if these people that trade for other people, when you're right, it's because they're so smart, because they chose you to trade for them, and when you're wrong, you're the SOB. So it's a no-win situation for whoever's managing those funds, and that's why I'm really not interested in creating a hedge fund or anything like that, because I don't want to be responsible for somebody losing $1 million.
Yeah. So from that perspective, I'm not sure if we should do a trading call sort of bot. But what we could do is maybe come up with some sort of bot that publishes the images, like once a day, just publishes changes in your position. Right.
No, I don't like. Well, let's see
like
the business model they have. I don't like that business model. So you're gonna have to change the business model, because they want the business model these guys have is not going to work for us. I know
Sure.
that. So but
Anyway,
if
we haven't talked about it yet.
we don't know what we're going to do
Yeah.
exactly, but we're going to try and make it
I
better.
mean, people are really asking about the Telegram group. We've had so many requests. We have about 25 people in there now.
And the guys that were unconfiscatable, who I know
Yeah.
personally, they're all there. So I felt
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
So now I can pop. But, I'm not there to answer questions.
Right.
I can't say, well, why did you do this, Ugly? This
Right.
is a time when I'm sitting down here and I'm doing an Ask Me Anything. You write down your questions, then ask me.
Yeah. If you're gonna throw questions in there, tag me, and then I'll get them into the to the Telegram channel.
Right. Or and I do like to see some of the questions that some of them actually inspire articles. So I'm not.
Well, there you
opposed to
go.
it.
So
If you have a
tag 'em
good
as well.
question, and that most of the questions that you have for me are answered somewhere in my Medium articles. Okay. They're there. Okay.
that's great. Yeah, the other day we were having trouble with that mic.
Oh
but-
yeah.
but now it's good.
Okay.
Great. That's great.
Now you can't follow me 100% and not. Well, first of all, I don't see any way you can follow me 100%, because it's always going to be on a delay of some kind. And I
Yeah.
never know what I'm going to be doing until it happens.
Yeah,
So,
there's always some kind of delay. I mean, unless you're sitting there 24/7. then, or have a bot waiting for his bot to like do the thing, then it won't be 100% copy trading. You know, and a trade that he makes might only be available as an opportunity for like, you know, like 2 minutes, you know. So sometimes you'll literally go in and put a buy order
Right. When
there,
we were
just
there, we
right
didn't know,
Yeah.
we just came in and
There's
looked
no-
at the market and,
You'll
you know,
see it and you'll be like,
see
well,
it.
I missed that, you know.
Well,
There'll
yeah.
be a lot of,
So I just jumped in because I saw it, and
Yeah.
that's, you know, that's what you do. That's how you trade, guys. It's not like,
yeah. So I think the best we could probably do reasonably would be have like a daily update of your positions or something like that.
I kind of
that
do
would be
that
nice.
now.
You're already doing
Yeah,
that,
I
yeah.
mean, every time I send a newsletter, I send a screenshot
Amazing.
and I send the trading history. And then we have the trading app, so you can actually load the CSV up file and see it. So
No fractals, please.
that's no fractals. I'm not going to do, guys. I don't, and I don't have, you know, I don't do Fibonacci's. You know, I don't have magic beans. I don't. I mean, I get the moving averages, but I don't do moving averages like most people do moving averages. I do moving average. Actually, if you want to know the truth, the sequential is a kind of a moving average. You can just count back so many days and see what the moving averages are doing. It's just a visualization, and then the lines just keep it cluttered. So I like it, keep it simple, and numbers are the simplest. And, you know, I keep it really simple by daily and weekly and monthly. And, you know, it was funny how there are certain things when they work together, it gives you more confidence. Not enough. I didn't have enough confidence to go short above that March high, but I was confident enough to get out of all my longs. And Tone did the same thing. He wasn't even looking. He didn't realize it was a monthly high. He was looking at his TD indicator. And so I'm looking at the monthly highs, and the last thing I check, oh, and there's a TD too, we're at 8. That's good enough for me. You know, there's just, it's a confirmation of your view of the market. It's a dance, guys. Trading is a dance. It is an art. It is not a science. And the art is in managing the funds, managing yourself, because you can't control the market. You can't control those candles, but you can control your candles. You can control your equity, your open, high, low every day. Say, oh, this open high, it's going down. I got to stop this, stop the bleeding, cut back and try it again. Oh, I got it turned around. And then you build it back up. But it's really hard for people to do that, to be successful and then cut back and not trade as much. It was hard for me to do it today.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, this is a good lesson.
Yeah.
Because that was hard for me to do. And I said, you know what? I've got too much in this. I need to back out.
Yeah. Last night it was weird. It's a weird moment because it kind of felt like it might be the top, and I had it on the 5-minute chart, and it was just grueling. Like I could not look at it. I just took it back to the 30-minute chart, and then eventually I was just like, I just decided to kind of get out. So I did a weird thing. I mean, you just got out. You knew that it was the top. I didn't knew that it was the top. Well, I don't know if you knew that. You got out.
No,
right?
it was just prudence. And, you know, and I sold the top at 94.01, and I was kind of proud of that. And then it went over 95, and I go, oh
Right.
man, I missed out. You know, I missed the last. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
You got to sell on the way up, and you got to buy on the way down.
Yeah.
I tend to buy too early, and that's what I did this morning. I just wasn't patient. I jumped back in way too quick. If I'd have just been more patient, I could have had a wonderful, could have got it a couple 100 points lower and been very, very comfortable. I didn't sit down and manage a strategy, and I should have. But the market gave me the strategy because I realized, you know what? I'm in this arbitrage between different markets. And as long as I have these futures, I can't take money out of the account. I said, I have to lighten my position in the June and September futures, because it's the only way I can withdraw funds. The most important thing to me was not my trading today. The most important thing I did today was I freed up my account so I could pull more out of it. I took out all I could. I took out 5.6. And I said, but I still had 6 in there. There's no reason for me to have that much in there. I don't want to lose six Bitcoin. I can lose 1 or 2, but then I won't feel too, I won't like it, but 6, I worked too hard.
Yeah.
I worked too hard to turn that 0.6 into 11.6. I'm not about ready to give more than half of it back.
Yeah.
So it's much better just cut back on my trading size, still keep the long position because, that's my bias and it's what you're comfortable with. Some people can, I have a hard time playing the short side, particularly in Bitcoin, because I'm just so fundamentally bullish. So it's very difficult. But there are people that have no problem playing the short side. Now, I don't seem to have any problem playing the short side in the altcoins. I made a lot selling Bcash and Ethereum last year. So, we don't really want to do the PayPal anymore. I did it for a while. It worked, but we charged people twice as much. We send them a tracer and give them a little Bitcoin. But I think we had like 4 or 5 people. We only had like 1 charge.
Stefan's saying that the hardware wallet would come with like a 0.1 BTC. That's like $1,000 now. So it definitely wouldn't be that much.
0.01.
0.01.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
Maybe it was 0.1 at the time because it'd been $3,500 at the time when we were doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that anymore.
Right.
We took that off.
Right.
We really don't want. There's fees on PayPal. There's chargebacks. Look, I love you. I hate PayPal. We have it just for some people. That's the only way, and that's the only way I paid 95% of my stuff is on credit cards, not PayPal. I don't like PayPal, but I have American Express, Capital One. All of my cards have no international fees. If they have a 3% international fee, I don't want the card because I travel too much. So, but it's just silly. Somebody was getting in a pissing contest with Tone about, the fees of Bitcoin, because I guess the fees have gone up. I know I've had it. I'm trying to send a Bitcoin to Bitso, and it's taken me more than a day. Still haven't gone through. It's been over 24 hours.
Yeah.
But I just.
Yeah. Well, we just had a peak in transactions.
Right.
So what that means, it seems to be like, it means a lot of people are sending Bitcoin right now. It's not really very high compared to like historical highs. It's still relatively low, but it did kind of overwhelm the network.
Yeah, and guys, if you're paying me, if you get a subscription, you can put the minimum. You can do so. I don't need it right away. In fact, today we just said,
like
what, it's not confirmed. We just proved you anyway. We were holding off. This is ridiculous.
But if you try to double spend this, we'll block you from high heaven.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. They want what you're paying for is really my track record. And so, and you are signing up that you get my trading record, that you're not going to share it with anyone because you're buying that and it's for you. Mm-hmm. And we don't want that. I don't want it generally out to, here's Ugly's trading record and we publish it. If you purchased it, yes, you can use it for your use, but it's not for you to go. That's for me. It's my trading record, and I might want to, and I am publishing. I'm giving it to you guys, okay? And you can use it if you. That's why where Victor came and says, "Well, I got your CSV file. I'm going to build an equity app and see. Maybe I can figure out because I don't know what I'm doing half the time." And that's why I say technical isn't that important. I know you guys think there's magic beans and magic points, but there's not. Okay.
All right. So Shibley's in the house, and he says, "BTC Pay server, baby." So Shibley just showed me the test version of the payment process that they installed. It's using BTC Pay server, which is kind of like the best payment process for websites there is. It's right now for Bitcoin.
Okay.
It's all open source, really good stuff, very easy to use. So now people, as soon as we activate this, people won't have to get like this email and go find the email.
Yeah, we have all these people that are really pending. They register but not paid. I don't know. At any rate, I never understood it, but the guy that designed the website, it has to be this way. I said, well, I don't understand why. Why can't they either pay or they don't pay? Why do they have to register and then pay? Anyway, so we're solving that problem. Wow. The other thing that's going to be really cool. Yeah, we don't have we don't have the pay. We took out the PayPal option. I mean, I'll make an exception. If you can only pay me through PayPal, I'm not going to get it for you. It's going to cost you more. It's going to cost you
Yeah, I mean, if
more.
you're willing to pay $1,800 through PayPal, just take it.
But yeah, I won't charge that much over, but well, it's not that much. Yeah, it's
Not
about
that much.
double. I'll
It's
charge
almost
it. I'll
double, yeah.
charge a double. I mean, basically I charge because I'm taking I got to pay the costs and I'm taking the chargeback risk and all that. I really don't want PayPal. I just don't want it.
Right.
And that's why we took it off. I just, I don't want it. So and you know what, if you don't have a HODL, you don't need my services. You need to go get your HODL.
Yeah.
So, if you don't have Bitcoin, you don't need me. You need to go get some Bitcoin. And I'm not here. I'm not an exchange. I'm not a money transfer system. You can't, you can't buy it from me. If we do business, I might buy something from you for Bitcoin. I do that all the time. And you might buy something from me for Bitcoin. It's just like I tweeted that out. They were talking about these payment fees. Well, sometimes Tone and I have a business relationship, and sometimes we go back and forth. But when we do, I mean, I believe in trusted third parties. He's a trusted third party. If he says he's going to send me, that's fine. Send it to me the cheapest way. I don't need it tomorrow. Now, maybe if I needed it to bail myself out of jail or something, hey, yeah, I need it right now. But I don't. I've got a HODL. Just send it by the slow boat. If it takes 3 days, I don't care. So.
Yeah, so thanks, Shively. That's an awesome update. And
but I wanted when we do the renewal, guys. Here's the other thing too. When after we get to the renewal, and we got to set all this stuff up. Shipley's our guy, and so he's going to set this up. But when somebody is on the renewable membership, you will not just get they'll get the 15% discount. You'll get the 10%, reward, but every year they renew, you'll continue to get that. So now you can build kind of a renewable small little income. Yeah. So if you sign up 10 people, hey, every year, you get a little bonus for them signing up. And some of you guys, I don't know who it is, he has a UOG sample at some, and so I forward. I don't want, people are, where can I get the discount code? I just say, hey, I forward them and say, can you send these your discount code? Because I don't want to, and that's for you guys. It's not for me.
Somebody's just hustling it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're putting out a good word for, and don't put out a good word for us if you don't think we're offering good material. I'm not asking that. I mean, I pretty much, it's all laid out. I'm not, there's nothing. Here's what we do. Here's what you get, and show me anybody else that's sending you all their trades and had a track record like I've had without any, huge downturn. That's the other thing too. Downturns, you have to protect against what you do. You want your equity to be slowly going like this. You're going to have downturns, but you want to keep them to a minimum. If you have a big downturn, that's when you cut way back and start all over again and build it back up. Whenever you see I have a big downturn, I cut way back. And that's hard to do. That's where most people, they'll double down or something else.
I wonder if Peter Schiff would come on your show. I think he's pretty.
Well, I would love to have him on the show. Because I believe, I definitely, I was in the gold business, and I love.
Right.
I would love to see government gold standards compete with Bitcoin.
Yeah, you should definitely.
But he's just so. I don't know that you can have a constructive conversation because he's really. He just has an agenda more than
like
really.
Bear,
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't really want to
boxer.
debate the issue. Who I'd really like to get on and has.
He's a media boxer. He's just hitting, right.
Yeah,
and he's really interesting. Like
I love having Knut Svanholm on because we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but we can have a wonderful conversation. He was great. Another one I'm trying to get on is the crypto. Chico Crypto. Tyler. He wants to get. He wants to come on. We just have to work it out. So he'd be great. He really does.
Maybe that's.
I don't agree with him. He's for. He promotes. He has Bitcoins that he promotes, but at least he does his research. Now, when he talks about Ethereum, he's not convinced me. I said, "What are you talking about here? It doesn't make any sense." but I'm that way in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of things, Litecoin, I'm not, apparently Litecoin is useful, but it's like, I'm like, Tony, why is it necessary? I'm only paying a penny or two just using Bitcoin. And is it really necessary? Well, it's not for me, but it might be for a lot of other people. And, plus I think the real future, it is going to have to be, banking will have to be centralized to some degree.
You can't make jewelry with Bitcoin, man.
Yeah.
You can't wear your Bitcoin.
No, you can't. So, all
You can
right.
smoke it though. Smoke your Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a song about it. You should look it up.
Okay.
Smoke your Bitcoin.
right.
By the way, the camera's there. You want to look?
Oh,
at people?
okay. I
You
should
can
look
talk to
at,
people right there.
okay. Yeah, I'm looking. Oh, it's like we
Yeah.
have two screens in front of us. So if I'm
Oh,
looking
we had
up,
three
I'm never
screens.
three
Compare-
screens
like
and
that
then
camera and
lights.
three. Yeah.
All right. So I guess
There we
I
go.
guess I have to
Now you
learn
can
to be a
smoke.
movie star, huh? So
That's
I got,
right.
that's where I need.
That's right.
And,
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
I got addicted to
Bazooka,
one of
we're
those
looking at you.
one of those
Bazooka.
Netflix series. Oh gosh, what a waste. But it was House of Cards. House of Cards. It was with, yeah, it was. And once you get absorbed, it's kind of like my wife gets involved in she's not in the novellas, but sometimes she'll find something and just watch a whole series. I fell in the deep hole and did that when I wasn't feeling very good. Breaking Bad was good, but so I am watching the Innocence Project now because they have done such great work. I really want to support them. Barry Shank and Newfield. If you're not familiar with the Innocence Project, guys, these guys are just it's just phenomenal the amount of innocent people that have been locked
Locked away.
for life
Wow.
in big senses for
Wow.
something they never did.
It's terrifying.
And it's really almost impossible
Yeah.
to get a conviction overturned,
Yeah.
particularly if it went to jury
The
trial.
American justice system is really,
It,
really screwed up.
it's anyway. If you can see that series, it'll kind of open. I mean, I'm very aware of it. I went to one of their projects when I got out, and these guys are literally saving people's lives.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys, locked up 20, 30 years for something they never did.
Yeah, that's crazy. I have a friend who, I think the guy had like I don't know what it was. He had some weed on him, but it wasn't that much weed. Like 40 years in prison or something. The guy had kids, and his kids are now obviously they're hardcore anarchists. Like, how do you not become a hardcore anarchist when your dad's been in prison for some bullshit crime?
Well, yeah, and that was really bad. I can tell you countless stories.
Oh yeah.
That.
No
So
doubt about
life
that, yeah.
life sentences, and if you,
Yeah.
any rate, very, very.
Move to Canada. Weed is legal here. Yeah, it really is.
That's
It's
one
not only
reason.
legal, it's
one reason I
impossible to
like
do
Mexico
otherwise.
is
Everybody's
the
smoking
corruption's
weed on
in your
Canada.
face and you can deal with it.
Funny story. My dad sent me to Canada when I was a teenager because he was afraid that I was going to start smoking weed in Colombia. Yeah, true story.
And
True story.
people don't smoke weed in
Little
Colombia.
did he know,
yeah,
everybody's high in Canada.
Yeah, everybody's high in Canada.
Everybody's smoking really good weed, by the way. Fine weed. He literally took
Well,
me to
I'm
the
amazed
capital
at
of
this.
marijuana.
Somebody gave me one of these vapes, and whoa, this stuff is really powerful compared to what
yeah.
I keep saying,
California
what
weed.
I see happening now is within a decade, we're going to be the exporter of the high quality marijuana. It'll be just the opposite. We'll have put sanctions on you if you don't accept the marijuana that we want to export.
Oh yeah.
The marijuana product.
yeah.
Because the best stuff in the is
USA
made in
weed.
California and Colorado now.
Yeah.
And they're huh?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I see. It's going to be exactly the opposite. That
Yeah.
we're going to
They're gonna
that's.
flip it.
I thought it was pretty good. I think I was watching Tone once, and he brought this out that, people in Europe and other countries have a hard time with the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. And a lot of the hardcore Second Amendment people, they had their food supply and they got their guns, and come the revolution, we're ready. Well, this revolution is a lot different. because what's happening now is everybody's getting tired of this thing, and they're going to open their stores, and everybody's got their store open with their guns. As they get swatted, I can see all the other store owners got surrounding the SWAT team. So the SWAT team's got their target, but the rest of the community has a SWAT team. Now we've made our point, guys. You know, get out of our business and get out of our way. We are
Yeah.
very reasonable when it comes to our help. So it's going to be, but I don't think anybody, it's not going to be protecting against anarchy. It's going to be protecting against tyranny. And that's
Yeah.
well, it's scary, but it's, you know, we can only do it here in America because we are an armed citizenry, and there is a everything is fixable in Mexico. Yeah. All right. Well, anything else? You guys have any questions? Again, if you want to sign up, this is the last day. Sign up, and hopefully I brought Juan in because we really can't believe how, I mean, my trading record has just, everybody's, wow, that's amazing. And it kind of amazed even me. So, you know, because I don't want to, I kind of brag, but I don't want to brag. But I'm doing this because I want to encourage you guys. You can see it can be done. You can see that you can do it. I can't do it for you. You can't follow me, but you can do it. And I know most of you out there have had the experience where you've gotten in and you've doubled or tripled or made 10x, and then you gave it all back. And so this is what we're going to get, hopefully. And you guys have helped me in I was able to do this because I started publishing my trades, because you've given me more discipline than I would have if it was just me sitting in my own juices, you know, thinking I'm so smart. So that's where I'm at. And I've seen it. I've seen you guys,
Nice.
a lot of you guys said, wow, yeah, just turn my trading around because I'm viewing everything differently. You have to view the market differently.
All right.
Yeah, I think we found a good combination here. So Eddie and Juan and I are everybody's got their own little thing, and they're kind of watching because this was getting overwhelming for me, and I get confused with all these, like I can't even figure out how to put what do they call it today that I was asking about, posted link, so I have it there handy. I just, it's just, I get lost doing a bunch of things that are completely, totally unproductive.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out, the technology that's involved in one little thing. And boy, if you don't know it, it's easy, but it's just time consuming.
Yeah.
All right. No, I'm not selling Lambos, but I did do a chart there where my wife, you can buy that Lambo. She bought a Raptor for 7 Bitcoin in December of 2017, and she sold it a year later when it was 3,500. And so she sold it for 42 Bitcoin. So you can actually buy and sell cars. If you buy the car when Bitcoin's high and sell it when Bitcoin's low, you can improve your position substantially. Now, she didn't actually trade for Bitcoin, but she traded equipment that was essentially the same value. So,
yeah, that was pretty great. All right. Thanks everybody for coming on.
Yep. And like I say, this is the last. You want a lifetime membership, get it done today. And then we will start the renewables, and we'll have to promote that differently. We'll probably have some bells and whistles to attract people, but we'll work on that. Let's get this one under our belt. Appreciate all your support. And like I say, all you new subscribers, I don't need your funds except to pay for what we're doing. We're not I pay for their help, but I don't need anything out of it. All we're doing is, we have all this equipment now, so we're going to get better. We're going to get more support staff because it looks like, more what?
Yeah.
More
definitely
new
toys.
toys. Yeah. I mean, I buy these guys toys and say, look, make this work. I got one of those little helicopter things.
Yeah, we got a drone. We got a really
Drone,
nice
and
drone.
so
I don't know
we're-
what we're gonna do with the
So I
drone.
said, you guys need to figure this out. I said, I'm too old. I said, I can't
Ugly
figure it out.
Goat trading from the height perspective, It's gonna be
Right.
like a
So,
little
I mean, I
drone
try-
view of him trading Bitcoin.
So we got this
I don't really know
mixer
what to do
here
with it.
now. Oh, what?
Oh yeah, this is the road. We're using it now.
Yeah.
This is the road. So
Yeah. Look at
we got
that.
this beast. This is basically like the best like audio mixer you could probably ask for on the market right now. It's really cool. You can actually program sounds into it, so we can have all kinds of stuff with this.
Oh,
We
cool.
can have multiple sources. This is good stuff. If
Well, then you asked
Four
me,
people at a time,
I
that's right.
bought one of
Yeah.
these things.
90 different
Juan
volumes and
says I
stuff.
need this. What's this thing I bought where?
Oh, he bought an Oculus Quest. So we're gonna have a Bitcoin halvening party on May 12th. I'm actually we're creating a virtual reality world.
I'm not. This
You're
is
not,
Juan.
I'm
Right.
creating it.
I-
Maybe you'll be part of it. There might be an ugly old goat in there somewhere. And yeah, it's gonna be a virtual reality halvening party. And so we're gonna be in there. It's gonna be
Yeah,
wild.
I
It's on the
expect that's
moon.
going to be a
It's called
big
the
day.
Alien
There'll probably be a
Treehouse.
lot of shows on, and so
There's a lot of stuff going on that day.
so because that's kind of a big event. It only happens once every 4 years, kind of like
It's probably
celebrating.
the biggest Bitcoin like holiday.
Really?
And there's no it's only every 4 years. So Kraken is sponsoring a virtual reality party with Uri Weather or something. I can't really pronounce his name. And
Okay.
that's gonna be big. He's got 2,000 people on his chat on his group, 2,000 people on his Telegram group.
Wow.
So he's gonna fill it out. It's gonna be a full house of VR chat party stuff, right? A VR party.
All right. So we'll have our Telegram group. We can build it. If you're going to start this Telegram, you're going to have people that can get it, or just be.
Yeah, anybody can get in.
Okay,
Anybody can
alright.
get in.
Okay.
You're all welcome. I'll share the links and stuff. We're probably gonna fill up VR chat, and then I guarantee you, Tone's gonna do like a live stream special. We're probably gonna do a live stream special.
Yeah. I'll probably be appearing
World
on his
Crypto
show.
Network,
And yeah.
World
Yeah.
Crypto
They're
Network
going to
will
have
be doing a
one.
live stream. So there's gonna be parties everywhere. I
And
look at
I'll
it like
probably
a
be jumping
festival.
around to party.
That's
You know.
how I look at it. It's gonna
I'll
be
probably
a
have
festival.
a bottle of tequila in this hand and a beer in this hand or something, but I can't drink that much anymore.
Yeah, you can hop around. So like our virtual world is gonna be open. Y'all can come in, hang out, meet people, check it out. Be like, whoa, this is trippy, and then go to another place, hop around, go to a different live stream. I think it's gonna be like a 3-day event because we don't really know when the happening is gonna happen exactly. It's more or less on May 12th. Yeah.
So it's gonna be one of these things.
It's gonna be a 3-day party.
And going and going.
This is gonna be like Mardi Gras for Bitcoin. So get your kidneys ready and celebrate with us. I think every 4 years, man, it's a very rare time. It's like an election, but
When
happy.
was
It's a happy thing.
Okay, it's every 4 years. So the last one was 20. Why don't I remember the last one? It was in 2016.
I think there just wasn't that many people. It happened. I remember. It
I
happened.
mean, I remember.
We didn't really celebrate.
I
it.
remember the hard fork. That was.
I mean,
a
I
big
did.
thing. Huh?
The hard fork.
the
Yeah,
hard
that was a
fork.
great
That was
time.
a big one.
Yeah,
And
we're almost done.
so.
My lady has arrived with some delicious food because she's a great cook.
Okay, last time I checked, it's May 12th, 11:47.
Downstairs, I'll go with you.
UTC. Keeps changing. Yeah, nobody knows. So you're gonna have to really kind of get in there the day before. And plan it for the day after. Probably it could be a 3-day event.
Yeah, we're kind of our party is gonna be around the happening. We're gonna have a special guest. Word on the street. We're gonna have a very special guest that day, and then the Kraken party is gonna be on May 10th, the night of May 10th, or the day of May 10th. So it's UTC time. I think 4 p.m. UTC till like 8 p.m. UTC. So we're gonna have an after party after that. We'll hang out. We'll be there. We'll invite people to our place.
What does Roger Ver what does he do during the Bitcoin? What does Roger Ver do during the real Bitcoin
Well,
happening?
he had the Bcash happening the other day. Have you seen the price since that happened? Oh, my sympathy.
Yeah, he's even stopped
He's
mining his
mining
own
it.
his
There's
own
no
coin
point,
now. Oh, geez.
There's no point mining it.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? He's gonna learn.
Capitulation, man. Fun fact. When the price was about $3,500 when that bottom happened, right? Roger Ver fired the whole marketing team of Bitcoin.com. You know, so that's like the first level of
Really?
capitulation. Now the next level of capitulation is the Bitcash mine goes off, right? So
Well, that's big thing that's going to happen here
Yeah.
too. You're going to have a lot of people that
lot
are
of
going to be
capitulation, yeah.
disillusioned because
Yeah.
they put a lot of effort in something
Yeah.
that's just really
Well,
crap.
so my girlfriend, she bought a bunch of altcoins during the last bull market, right? And I've turned her into a maximalist, right? But now today we're talking, and it's like looking at her account, and she's like she's got a bunch of shitcoins, and they're worth nothing. Like she can get probably like a few $100 out of all of them. She
Really?
definitely didn't make money on the trades. She's a great, strong hodler, but she's hodling the wrong things.
Yeah,
Like,
you can't
she's just got
hodl.
Bitcoin, but
Yeah,
like,
you can't hodl something that's just going to go down.
Yeah.
You can't hodl a lot. The
hodl
dollar
works for
cost
Bitcoin.
averaging is only going
That's
to
only
work
for
in
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin,
Yeah,
guys.
you
It's an
hodl Bitcoin.
exclusive.
Everything else is a crapshoot.
And
Best, yeah.
at best,
At
yeah.
best.
And I don't even think it's that.
At
So.
the right time, you can maybe get it, but you're taking on some risk, and yeah, it's wild.
All right. Well,
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming on. This is a great show. We've had a great time doing live streams the past few days. People are giving us really good feedback.
and thank you
It's good to
guys for
have you on.
promoting us.
I really appreciate that.
And don't promote us if you're
Yeah.
unhappy, but if you are happy with the results, and again, my strength is medium articles and trading. Beyond that, YouTube and stuff, I'm just learning. But I am. Oh, we got some active dogs out there tonight. Those
Very
are all
excited
ours.
dogs,
We have
yeah.
lots of dogs. So. All right. Well, I'll do a little dance before we go, and that's the way I teach Bitcoin. Is number one, we hodl, and that means it's something. It's an asset you can hold and save, and will grow in value. And then we save as we hodl. We want to reward ourselves occasionally for saving, and so we sell a little bit off after the price after rises in relationships to other goods and services, and so we upgrade our laptop, or in my case, I got to buy a raptor for the goat lady. And then the last thing we do is we build it, and that's what our real goat website's all about. That's what the staff is about.
Yeah.
We do different things where we're building on Bitcoin and trying to make it.
You're putting the mic
Okay.
away. Yeah.
And we build on Bitcoin. That's why on the Ugly Old Goat we have a little referral program, because we want you to start saying, oh yes, I can get residual income, and just start thinking in your own business, your own specialty. You may be not be an entrepreneur, but you're thinking about it, or you're a specialist in some field. And when you make that breakaway, you want to, if you can just get 15% of your income in on Bitcoin, it's really a big benefit. So, that's our goal, and that's where we're at. So the way it goes hodl, hodl, hodl.
Save. Build a.
Sound money. Guys.
Sound money. Thanks, everybody. You'll have a good night, and see you next time.
All right.
Now we gotta find the button. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.